To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show everyone's present.
Thank you.
All right. We got a public comment policy statement. If there's anybody from the public that wants to make a comment to the board, they will need to go over to the table over on that wall and fill out the form or read the script, fill out the form to make a public comment. At the end, we'll reserve about 30 minutes for public comments, but you will get 3 minutes to speak on your topic. The board will not respond. Okay, consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, no new hires here today, is there? Okay. Next up, Ellen Way, Iowa Veterans Foundation, update on veterans banners on Veterans Memorial Highway, discussion and or decision on funding requests. Ellen, we asked you to look into the upkeep and stuff, and you got that handled.
Yes. Thank you for having us. Since we were last here, I just wanted to update you on where we're at. We do have the brackets in the process of being made right now, a local company, and probably by the end of this month, they'll be made. And then at the end of this month, we're going to be turning in our collected applications for the banners. And the company says that they'll probably need a week to make those banners. And so our hope is by the middle of June, we will be able to start the process of getting them up on the light poles on the Veterans Memorial Highway.
Okay.
And I may have told you this already, but they would be where South 24th Street is. It would go up to Metro Drive area, that area right there. So there was a few questions that you had at the last meeting, and I wanted to get back with you on that. I did talk to County VA, a few people there. If they had discretionary money at one time, they don't now. They just said they didn't have any. So I don't know if they spent what they had or if they didn't have funds in the first place, but they don't have any money to give us. And another issue that was brought up was there was concern about maintenance and upkeep. Okay, so we did talk to a few different companies about that to decide what we wanted. And we were gonna go with one. And the way it's gonna work is there won't be like a monthly fee for them checking to see if they look up to date and not faded and all that. What will happen is if and when one gets damaged or something needs attention, they'll charge us $175 an hour. And that's for one tech and one truck. And I honestly think that that would be our rate. I don't see it being over an hour to take care of one or two banners that might need some attention. So that's what we intend to use for our maintenance and upkeep. this first year, I really don't anticipate a lot of problems. So I don't think that's gonna be an issue, uh, initially anyway. Another thing is, this money that we're wanting to collect from you, that would go a long ways towards the, maintenance and upkeep down the road. We do want to keep this going. We don't want it to be a one-year thing. We want to continue it on out. So,
You're asking for $5,000 from us.
yes, yes,
And, some of that will be kept for maintenance too.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I am in favor of this. I think it's important to do this. And I'm looking for a motion to go with that.
Well, I've got a few more questions.
Okay?
Yeah, so do I.
Ellen, remind me again, I know you were here in February, remind me again, how many banners are we looking at?
Remind you again about what?
The number, how many banners are you looking at?
Okay, we're shooting for 100 banners.
But you haven't started getting applications completed yet?
We've got close to 100 banners, but we did extend it out. We had an initial deadline of the 15th of May, and we weren't at 100 banners yet. And the company told us, well, it doesn't take us but a week to make 100 banners. So we extended it out to the end of this month. Now, even if we don't get 100, we're going to go with what we got. So if there's, say, 85 or whatever the number might be, we're going to go with that. And we're not going to, once we do this initial installation, we'll accept new banners, but we'll let them know it'll be for the next time. Because again, I want to remind you that the city's going to pay for the initial installation of the brackets and banners. But beyond that, we might have to pay for the second installation and on down the road, and thus we can sweet talk them at some point.
I think,
Well,
I think I asked you, I've mentioned before how impressive the Gretna display is. Did you check with anybody from Gretna to find out how they manage their program?
Yes, I talked to an Angie. She's got a long last name.
Oh.
But anyway, I talk to her on a regular basis, and she's been very helpful. And what they do is they leave the banners up for a couple years at a time, and then they do a push for new banners. And also, their city initially, they weren't on board. And when the city saw how successful this was and that the public liked it, the city's helping them out quite a bit now. She's still kind of overseeing it, but she says that once you get this up and going, that's most of the work right there. And when people see it and they like it, it takes care of itself from that point on. We're gonna stick with this until all the kinks are out of it. So we might be with this a few years, but we are looking at groups, other nonprofits and booster clubs and stuff that might be interested in continuing this on down the road. Like I said, we want it to be a success.
Okay, two more quick questions. So do you have a budget for like the next 5 years for this program? I know, I mean, this is $30,000 for total project cost is what the application appears to be. And you're asking the county to fund 5,000 of that.
Yes.
Well, when that money's gone, I mean, what other sources do you have for annual maintenance?
We're still gonna fundraise. We're wanting this 5,000 from you, but we're not gonna rely on it solely. There's still companies in town that, I'm working with and I haven't got money out of yet that I'm gonna keep, touching base with. It seems for whatever reason that the mom and pop companies and the small companies, small business, family business, first time you approach them, you get money. It may not be much, but you get money. Now, some of these bigger foundations or corporations, it's harder. It's harder. Their headquarters is somewhere else. And so they don't make the decision here. It's takes a long time sometimes to get money from them. So, but we're working on it. It's gonna be, it's not gonna be a one and done type thing.
I just know that you're putting up a lot of cost at the beginning to get the program up and running. And I just want to make sure that it's going to be sustainable and continue to look amazing and impressive throughout the years. I speak from a standpoint of putting up banners in Carson. We thought it was a great idea. The 501c3 went out and bought the banners. We got the brackets, we hung them up. But then it was like, oh, the brackets are bent, who needs to fix them? Oh, that banner's torn, who's going to take care of it? And I just want to make sure that you're thinking through future to make sure that.
We have thought it through. And not only Gretna, but we're also talking to Clarinda. They've done this for several years now, as well as Darlene McMartin's got a contact in Woodbine, and they've done it for a couple years now. And so we're kind of getting ideas from them about what works and what don't work, and picking and choosing from each. And the city, I mean, in regards to their help with the installation of the brackets and banners, they're also very helpful with just calling them up and asking them questions. The Public Works Director has been awesome. So I continue to think that down the road, we're going to get more assistance from them.
And the applications are accepted for veterans throughout the county or from Council Bluffs only?
It's actually going to be Potawatomi County.
Okay.
But again, I anticipate most of them being Council Bluffs because that's where we're at. But yes, it's going to be Potawatomi County.
Okay.
Yeah.
My hometown, who's next?
Go ahead.
My hometown of Auburn, Iowa does the same thing. There's a gentleman there that still lives there. His dad was in World War II, and he wanted to find an appropriate way to honor his dad as a World War II veteran. So he started this project, asked other families to get involved. And my banner is hanging up on Main Street, Auburn, Iowa right now. But you're missing I think a financial resource with families. Those veterans whose banners are up there, are their families going to be supporting this project too? Because it would be a natural for families to get involved. Maybe the cost of replacing a banner, whatever. It costs. My sister, I've got my dad, my sister's family, her husband's family. His dad was in World War II. I have a cousin who was in the Navy. There's 4 banners up there that the families, my family is putting up the cost $250 a banner. This is the second year they've been doing this, but it will be a natural for the families to help support this project. Are you guys reaching out to families?
Absolutely. We expect the veteran to have a little skin in the game. We're asking them to pay for their own banner.
Okay.
And then when it comes down, it does belong to the veteran. And so, it's theirs to, they can either keep it, or if they want it back up, that's another option. We're leaving all the doors open on that, but they are paying for their own banner.
And then every year, do these banners change or could change?
Well, we don't anticipate them changing unless it gets to a point where, again, it gets weathered or, you know, at that point, then yes, it would come down and a new one would go up.
Tim, you have something?
Yeah, a few. Ellen, what's a banner and a bracket cost?
Okay. The banner, we're asking $100 from the
How much do
veteran
they-
or the veteran's
How much do they
family.
cost?
$100.
Okay,
Yes. And then the actual brackets, I've got that information right here. They're charging us 15,000, and that's for 100 brackets. $15,000.
so they're 150. Okay,
And
what have you raised so far?
what have we raised? Well, we're over 15,000, and so that pays for the brackets. And then, like I said, the banners, we're charging $100 for the veteran to cover the cost of the banner. And so, and then in the meantime, we're still asking for collections, donations.
What is your estimate of the cost for maintenance for these?
The cost per banner.
The cost for maintenance?
Oh, the cost for maintenance. Well, I anticipate the $175 an hour for the company to take down and put up. And then as far as the bracket, if that needs work done, that'll be done by the company that makes them. And then the banners, if it comes to a point where that has to be replaced, we'll ask the veteran if they want to have a new one or not. And if they don't, we won't replace that particular banner with that veteran.
Okay, in your application, you mentioned about the Community Foundation of Western Iowa. Have they provided any funding for that?
Community Foundation, they're accepting the donations that when we go out to a company and ask for them to make a contribution, we've got a slip, and we mail it to the company, or I've been knocking on doors, and they can either do an online donation. It provides a block for that, or they can mail in the donation. Sometimes they've been giving me cash. And so I just take the cash with the donation card and take it over to the community foundation myself. So we're flexible as long as we get the money. We really don't care how it comes. If it's a legal company, we'll take it. So I've not been very proud about who I've went to. It's amazing the places that you think will not give you any money. It's maybe something up here because you go there and they give you money. So they kind of prove you wrong.
Okay, one last question.
Okay.
So if you've got 100, you want 100 banners, and that's $250 a pop, plus with the bracket, that's 25,000. That just takes care of buying them. If one year, if you have 20 banners that need to be repaired, that's another $3,500 based on $175 an hour. So you're really pushing it to maintain them. So with that, Chairman Shea, I will make a motion to provide $5,000
We do have a warranty.
to
With-
the flag project
I'll second.
after they reach $25,000 in donations.
All right, I'll second that.
Questions, comments? Okay, I got a motion by Wickman, a second by Jorgensen to approve the $5,000 out of gaming, I suppose.
Yep.
Okay. For this project, all in favor,
Once they receive
once they receive,
25,000
20.
in donations.
well, the 5 will get them up to 20.
I said the motion was 25. They need 30,000 to get there. They can raise 25, we'll get them there.
Okay,
Last in funds.
all right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Those opposed? Okay,
Thanks, Ellen.
get out there and raise some more, Ellen. Thanks for your work on this.
Great project.
Thanks a lot. We won't let you down.
Good deal. Well, you got your heart in it. Next up, Corey Nelson, Executive Director, Horses Help Southwest Iowa. Update on Horses Help Southwest Iowa. Morning.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me here. I think that program was be up momentarily. While that's getting put up. Can you approach your table? Can I use another pen? Thank you.
we're always looking for pins.
Thanks.
We never have enough pens.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then go with that. All right. So again, thank you. I'm Corey Nelson. I'm the Director of Horses Help. I'm a Council Bluffs native. I have been in nonprofit work since I was still in college, and I was the director of the Dodge House Museum for about 17 years. Followed that, I was Director of Development and Marketing at Midlands Humane Society, and then I was asked to start Horses Help, another nonprofit, in 2022, and then we officially opened in the fall of 23. So we're going to go through some. I have pictures. I have activities since the last time I was here. So go ahead and get that started. So where we are located in Pottawatomie County, just a few miles off of the intersection of Iowa School for the Deaf and Lewis Central. We're about 4.5 miles out east, out toward Trainer. We are on all paved roads. That's our entry, pretty recent entryway to our property. So we're very easy to get to from Council Bluffs, really all of Southwest Iowa, and even areas in Nebraska. Go ahead. All right, so this is an area this is the back of our property. And so this is something that not a lot of people get a chance to see, but it's probably the best bird's eye view of what we have. So we have 20 acres, beautiful rolling lush hills. That's kind of our back hayfield, soon to be cut and harvested for our own use. But our horses have access to our own cut hay. We purchase hay from other farmers in the area. And then our clients, our volunteers, our groups that come out for services really get a chance to see a good share of nature of wildlife, the birds, the bees, the breezes that come through. And so it's quite beneficial for them to get out into the country, not being very far from the city. This is a kind of a bird's eye view, the top photo. This is an aerial view of our outdoor arena space. It is actually still under construction when that photo, that HGM was our architect engineer that worked on the property. So that is still being built, but all built now. We have an outdoor or indoor arena. We have an old barn, which is kind of a storage area for us now, but future plans would be parent space, counseling room, office space, classroom space, lots of opportunities there. We have a miniature horse barn for our miniatures. We have a large hay barn, tractor storage shed. We have a round pen, the bottom corner. It's the only one like it in the entire state of Iowa. And then the bottom right picture, there is a handicap accessible ramp and platform, and that was built for us by partnership with Iowa Western Community College construction students. We had a donor provide lumber, and that has been a really excellent addition to our property. Close up of the miniature horse barn at nighttime. You can kind of see some of them roaming around in there. So we have, they're kind of a greeter for us when people come. They're right up in the forefront for our visitors to come and see. We can lock them in the double Dutch doors there, and people can access them safely and still pet. And then this is a closer picture of our welcome barn. So this is, you can kind of see the upper hipped roof of the barn. It's a it's a 1960s era barn. And so it's already, I like history still, so it's already well on its way to being a historic structure, but really good area, good chance to get people in a barn. No one gets to see a barn anymore. I'm surprised at the number of kids that don't get outside and play in dirt anymore. So this is a really big boon for potential projects for us. Our founder, Linda Hightoft-Borman, is a Council Bluffs native, as is her husband. They are donors to several charities and nonprofits in our Council Bluffs area. Her big why factor as to why she created this was that she has, they are now deceased, but she was the oldest sibling of two younger siblings born with Down syndrome. And so Down syndrome is one of the conditions that is often, they often seek out equine assisted services, equine therapies, as well as individuals with anxiety, ADHD, cerebral palsy, goodness sakes, stroke, spina bifida, all kinds of conditions that equine assisted services help with. So she's a very big supporter financially and volunteering for our property. Our mission to provide equine assisted sessions in a safe and inclusive environment for individuals with physical, cognitive, emotional, and social challenges. This actually is one of our clients. They're on one of our horses. So you can kind of see, it's usually a team of 5 individuals, including the client and the horse, I guess you could say 6. So we have an individual on horseback. We would have 2 sidewalkers. That would be an individual on the right and left of the rider, helping to ensure as much safety and security as possible. We are asking that rider to do basic skills. So it might be trivia for some clients. It might be right and left determination. It might be fine and gross motor skills. This gentleman is running pool noodles across a rope to the other side. So he's working on crossbody, right, left. We would have someone horse leading and then an instructor who is trained. We have myself as a trained adaptive riding instructor, and then our main adaptive riding instructor. We are trained through an organization called Spirit Horse International. They're based in Florida. And they are one of several that is an insurable certified adaptive riding instructor program. PATH would be another largely recognized one as well. A little bit of history. So equine therapy dates back centuries. Actually, you can see the word hippo meaning horse. So hippotherapy is a Greek word, and basically what it stands for and what hippotherapy technically is individuals that do occupational therapy, physical therapy, or speech language therapy on the back of a horse or around horses. It didn't become mainstream for what we would consider until the 1960s, and then it's grown strategically ever since. Equine assisted learning is the fastest growing equine business in the nation. It's growing a lot. What are equine assisted services? So you can see it could be an adaptive riding session. Mental health program is growing faster than I could have imagined it. And then also the physical, occupational, and speech language pathology regimens. Benefits of EAS, basically improving balance, coordination, range of motion, passive stretch for tight muscles. Being on the back of a horse, the gait of a horse is the closest resemblance to the gait of a human. So if you have never walked or you struggle with walking or are wheelchair bound, being on a horse mimics that walking. You do not get any other type of activity. Horsemanship strengthens muscles by encouraging muscular response, increases awareness of one's body in space. Just walk next to a horse and you're real careful with where you're going to walk. So they're our teacher without us really having to tell the horses to be a teacher. And it also stimulates the vestibular, nervous, and circulatory systems. This child is actually one of our group clients that came from Ronald McDonald House. That's her mother. You can see how happy she is. And this girl came out to us from Ronald McDonald House as a patient. She came out after an organ transplant. She had a feeding tube, she had a colostomy bag, and she still got on a horse. Couple other sessions. So you can see we're having this child work on his hand-eye coordination. So he is jousting. He is trying to get a flexible pool noodle through a ring that's being held in front of him while he's moving. The other gentleman, this girl is wheelchair bound. And so we have cart driving programs as well that we're able to have individuals ride on a horse-drawn cart if they are not able or physically or maybe a weight restriction to get on the back of a horse. We paint horses, right? So we paint horses, and this is a group that came out here that kids have a ball with it. We've had Thomas Jefferson come out, paint their school colors on a horse, and any number, we can do seasonal themes, you name it. They just did fun kind of rainbow handprints. But therapeutic qualities of horses truly do help people overcome trauma, work through depression, and live happier, healthier lives. They reduce stress, better health, you name it. eGala is one that we began a couple years ago, and we contract with a licensed mental health practitioner, Jennifer Leverett, who does her own therapies, but then also is one of a couple in the area trained for eGala. eGala stands for Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association, and they've been around for decades as well. It's a non-riding program. It's oftentimes used with veterans and PTSD, but it can also be victims of crime or trauma. They are working alongside a horse. They are building confidence, regaining, I said confidence basically, but they're helping answer questions on their own by working alongside an animal, a large animal such as one of our horses. You can also use it for team building. Corporations, small office teams as well is often used as well. Equine assisted learning, this is the one I mentioned was the fastest growing industry for horses in the world. And so what equine assisted learning does is it teaches responsibility, empathy, and patience. These can be one-on-one sessions or done in a group as we work with horses, tack, and property to teach the children lessons that they can only learn really on the ranch. So we are busy, they're cleaning, they are helping take care of horses. They might be doing, again, hand-eye coordination. A lot of our kiddos love to play with buckles. It's good for their cognitive features to do that as well. So we do quite a bit of these sessions. We also offer traditional horse riding lessons. We do the occasional rental as far as a birthday party, where we have a group of usually 10 kids come out, and we do sessions with them. We always focus on education. Basically, our tagline is education, wellness, and healing. And so if we're able to teach them safety, concerns, responsibility, notes as we work with horses, badges for Girl Scouts, that's one of our focuses as well. This is just a few examples of other cart driving programs we've done. We worked with Council Bluffs Cares, which is kind of a local optimist, special needs optimist group here in town. CARE stands for Community Always Remembers Everyone Special. And so these individuals were able to do a cart driving program with us. They also did art programs with us. So we had an individuals that are on mobility devices that struggle with confidence, ADHD, anxiety, cerebral palsy, you name it. They come out and do functions with us there. A few favorite moments that we have. So you can see this young girl hugging her horse after a session. The little boy in the middle is one of our clients who has Down syndrome and autism, and he was doing a holiday, kind of a Christmas function with his horse. And then the bottom picture is us taking one of our horses to a nursing home in Red Oak. And we were there for a hospice visit for a woman that had horses her entire life and wanted to visit horses one more time. And I liked him so much, I put the pictures in here again just for you. So a little bit bigger picture. And strange, kind of an interesting note, starting at 11 o'clock today, we have another hospice visit with a gentleman, a 90-year-old gentleman coming out to the ranch. We were asked to visit him with horses, and he had been a horse trainer his entire life. And so we said, come on out here. So he's coming out in his wheelchair with his wife and his grown son, his nurse and nurse's aide. They'll come up on the ramp. They'll visit our big horses. We may take him for a ride on the ATV around the property and check fences and do the things that he would have been doing, his entire life. So this is a picture of a Girl Scout group earning one of their horsemanship badges. We've done hayrack rides around the property to show, learn about herd dynamics and herd behaviors and basically the horses in their natural environment. We are getting more and more into this. The studies are profound as far as equine and seniors with dementia, as far as the patient and the caregiver. It's an activity they can do together, and it is showing lasting benefits and improvements in cognitive function for this particular population. We are a 501c3 organization. We take obviously lots of different types of donations. Equine therapies are generally not covered by any type of medical insurance. So a typical session for an adaptive ride for us is $150. We only charge $50. So we're able to keep it as affordable as possible through the donations and generosity of individuals in our community. It's just something that the families believe in so much that they come out every week. Sessions are usually weekly, same day, same time, different horses, different activities. But it's made such an improvement in the children's grades, their joy, their speaking, their verbalization, so many things to mention. And then this is us over at Ronald McDonald House. We do take them off site. You can see our miniature reindeer in the picture and Ronald McDonald there in the background. But we have kids that come help us do stall cleaning. And we just try to get them involved. It's funny the number of kids that don't balk at cleaning a stall, but won't vacuum their carpet at home. So we'll take that. So we really, letting them learn responsibility, having them learn grace and empathy. That's one of the things we hear from parents and caregivers and teachers is what is lacking. And we're hoping to give that back to these kids. I think that's the last slide I have. So I'm happy to answer questions. Please follow us on Facebook. We have lots of images and things to catch up on. So
I've driven by and I've always wondered what goes on back
Yep.
there. Now I know.
yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, and we're open to ideas too. So people are, hey, do you ever do this? And would you ever do this? And if we can accommodate it, we'll try it. So, all right. Well, I appreciate your time.
How many horses?
It varies. We probably had as low as 11 or 12. And I think right now we probably have 13 on the property. We stall really never. They're usually always out in our pastures. But it varies. We'll have horses that we sell and horses that we get donated or purchased. So it varies a little bit.
Corey,
Yeah.
thanks for coming
Yes,
in.
thank you so much.
Really appreciate
All
it.
right. Yeah, take care.
Next up, Matt Wyatt, Director of Planning and Development. Discussion and or decision to approve final plat of Hawkeye Estates, a subdivision situated in Lake Township. And to sign Planning and Zoning Resolution 2026-06. Matthew.
Yes, on May 12th was when the Board of Supervisors approved the preliminary plat for this minor subdivision just north of Council Bluffs on Old Lincoln Highway. I believe they're doing it for some estate planning.
The public hearing was held the same day and there was no public comment.
Correct.
Questions? Need a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay, got a motion to approve by Jorgensen, a second by Miller. Would you do a roll call, Mary Ann?
Chairman Shay,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman,
Aye.
Supervisor Jones.
Aye. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Next up, Becky Linehan, Finance and Tax Officer, Auditor's Office. Discussion and a decision to approve and authorize board to sign resolution number 37, 2026, entitled Resolution for Transfer from Lost Local Option Sales Tax Secondary Roads Fund to Secondary Roads Fund.
Good morning. This is the annual transfer that the roads department does. The engineer takes 3 million from his local option sales tax fund and puts it into his Fund 20 operating fund. It isn't a reimbursement for these items. The intent is to document capital improvement expenditures within Fund 20 transferred from Fund 35, which may be only be used for capital improvement projects.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution number 37-2026.
I'll second the motion.
Becky, real quick question. Do you have a balance of that, secondary road fund revenue?
The regular secondary, the 20, Fund 20.
No, the local option sales tax.
The local option sales tax. This morning, before anything, it was $4.1 million. 4.196,303.22.
We only transfer whatever he wants. I mean, all of it belongs to him.
Yes, normally it's this, historically, it's been the 3 million. And then he also keeps some in there for his bonding. He doesn't pay it out of the, levies.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
He leaves that in there for his bond payments.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Would you do a roll call?
Yes. Chairman Shay,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Supervisor Jones,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Mary Ann.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, Becky.
Thank you, Becky.
Next up, Jason Slack, Director of Buildings and Grounds, discussion under decision to review application for use of Potawatomi County grounds for KAMT Agua Fresca and Strawberry Lemonade. That sounds good right now.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm good. I haven't seen the application. I don't really know where this individual's at, I guess, but do you guys have the application?
Is it a food truck?
No, it's just lemonade,
Okay,
and she wants the permission of the board to sell this lemonade in the lobby of the courthouse. She's already at the farmer's market, from what I understand, and I guess I don't have much more information on it.
We do have the application in the packet.
What's your recommendation on this, Jason?
I don't see any reason why we couldn't do it.
So then do we have lemonade stands all around the lobby of the courthouse?
That's the board.
No, I'm not being a smart aleck. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, if you let one in, how are you gonna stop? How are you gonna say no to anybody else? You know, previously we have let coffee vendors be outside the courthouse to do that. And that would be my recommendation, instead of bringing them in the lobby of the courthouse.
This application looks like it's for a personal, for a family member, for raising funds for cancer treatments.
Correct.
I would go along with Tim if it was outside the building and not in the lobby.
Maybe it gets to be a insurance, a risk factor inside.
Well, and on the application, there is a $1 million insurance policy, just so everyone knows. You guys, questions, comments? Motions?
Well, and they want to bring in tables and chairs too. I mean, really. I'll make a motion to deny the application.
I'll second.
If they want to come back with a permit to utilize the area in front of the courthouse outside, I don't have any issues with that, but not inside.
Questions, comments? Any? I got a motion by Wickman, a second by Miller to deny applications as it stands.
What, just a point of clarification, the motion as it is stated says approve or deny the continued application.
They don't have an application.
Yeah, we don't
have
any.
Deny the
So,
application.
okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, all in favor for denies? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Jason.
Thanks for bringing it, Jason.
Will somebody reach out to this person then, or how does that happen?
Will you talk to her?
I'll talk to Jeanette. I think Jeanette talked to her.
Okay.
Jeanette will be back tomorrow.
Or the chairman can handle it.
I got enough on my plate. Okay, update on board members, committee meetings from the past week. Susan, you got anything?
I attended the Napa RPA 18 meeting out to the Rock. Thriving Families had a board meeting. WIDA, I represented WIDA at a ribbon cutting in Neola for Heartland Harness. It's a new business out there, or a expanded small business. And then I participated as much as I could this weekend in The Wall That Heals. And I just want to compliment that entire effort. I mean, it was huge. It was a magnificent event. There was a lot of time put in by our committee members and it did not go unnoticed. So thank you all.
Tim?
The only thing I'd update the board on is I had a discussion with Trish Bernards at the jail. And with those hires we made last week, they are fully staffed. So one of the things that we talked about at budget time has happened.
First time ever, ain't it?
Since I've been on the board.
Okay,
All we have to do is find a way to pay for them.
I was at a bike trail meeting, MAPPA, Finance Committee, the WIDA board meeting. I was at a Grow the City and County board meeting for Iowa West. I spent Thursday at the wall installing. Friday, there was a deal we set up and tore down, and then yesterday I worked help it tear down, so. Pete?
I also worked the Wall That Heals. It was a very emotional time for veterans and their families. I thought it was a great, worthwhile event and really appreciated to be a part of that.
Yep.
Let's see, last Wednesday I was at the Southwest Iowa Juvenile Detention Organization meeting. It's a great organization and certainly fully supportive of that effort. Council Bluffs Airport Authority is going gangbusters. The airport is another fine organization in charge of that. Let's see, May 22nd, I was down there at Lewis Central for overnight to watch the wall. And then yesterday, I'm stiff and sore because we spent about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours taking the thing down, and a lot of work for an old man. So,
Okay. Public comments. Anybody sign up?
Yes. Eric Shaw and Jan Norris.
Come on. Here's what you gotta do. You gotta come up, Mary Ann, and state your name and address, and then you get 3 minutes.
Okay. Good morning, I'm Jan Norris. I live at 2479 B Avenue in Red Oak, Iowa. I'm here to update you with the Summit Carbon Pipeline. I've been following this project closely for 5 years after my neighborhood in Montgomery County received letters. On May 13th, Summit filed a notice of intent to withdraw certain segments with the Iowa Utilities Commission. At this point in time, they intend to remove 4 ethanol plants, including Shenandoah and Corning, eliminating 200 miles, which includes everything south of Crawford County. A route of nearly 800 miles still remains, all north of I-80. Summit's press release leaves all options open, saying they will continue to evaluate future expansion opportunities. I might point out that although the press release specifically states the project will travel west through Nebraska to Wyoming for sequestration, no official filing with the IUC says that. Currently, the fate of Summit's project lies with the IUC. They have to rule on amendments, a route change, end use, conditions, consolidation, and then it may go back to district court. It's easy to see why some parties are asking Summit to just start over. Did landowners who signed easements make out like bandits? Unless otherwise stated in the document, those easements can be forever. Summit could sell, assign, or transfer them to another CO2 pipeline project without consulting the landowner. In Nebraska, Tallgrass was able to move quickly on their project because of existing easements, some of which were 40 years old. Landowners are urged to seek a qualified legal opinion to fully understand how their easement may or may not be affected as this project evolves. Shelby County has repealed their setback ordinance, but this could be an opportunity to reevaluate. New ordinances could be drafted incorporating the court ruling now without company threat. More projects are coming our way: wind, solar, data centers, and also hydrogen drilling. In fact, a forced cooling bill was passed in the last days of session that would force non-consenting landowners to participate. It behooves local officials to be proactive. Summit's route removal has not taken the threat of eminent domain away. Only the IUC decides if a project like this is allowed to seize property. But the legislature could make changes, and we are still waiting. Summit is years behind schedule, so making this big change was likely a Hail Mary to try and salvage their investors' $1 billion. Landowners are cautious and recognize it could just be a strategy to cut out some of the loudest opposition, regroup, and come back to push harder. Owners of nearly 4,000 parcels in Iowa are still impacted by this project, with no property rights protections in place to shield them from private industry. Summit's CO2 pipeline project is far from over, but recent reduction of the overall route demonstrates the power of people standing together. Billionaires can hire teams of high-priced lawyers and paid lobbyists. I figured the least I can do is volunteer to stand up for my neighbors. And if you give me one more second, I'll address the Trailblazer route, the Sire plant.
It's time up.
3. You're at 3.
Okay,
Jan, thank you.
you're welcome.
Is there anybody else?
Yes. Eric?
Okay. Well, good morning. Hope you all had a great holiday weekend. My name is Eric Shaw. I live in the county. I also live here in Council Bluffs. I also serve as the lead pastor at Creekside Church with campuses here in Council Bluffs and in Red Oak. But I am appearing before you today as a taxpaying citizen I'm here today because Potawatomi County Public Health is hosting and promoting a Pride in Focus event. Let me be clear from the start, I'm not asking public health to refuse care to anyone. Public health should provide testing, referrals, education, prevention, and care to every resident who needs it. That's not the issue. The issue is that the public health department did not have to host a Pride event to provide health services. They could have hosted a health-focused outreach event. Instead, they chose to attach county facilities, county branding, county communication channels, and grant-funded staff time to a Pride-branded event. Those aren't the same thing. One is fulfilling a public health mandate. The other is taxpayer-funded advocacy. The response I received from public health said that this is connected to grant-supported programming, but federal grant money is still taxpayer money. State-administered grant money is still taxpayer money. County facilities are still public resources. County branding still carries county endorsement. Calling something grant-funded does not make it accountability-free. It actually raises more questions. Who approved this event? Did the Board of Health vote on it? Did this board know about it before it was publicly promoted? Does the grant require a Pride branded event, or does it simply require health outreach, testing, prevention, referrals, and education? If the grant does not require Pride branding, then this was a local choice. Somebody chose to move this from healthcare into advocacy. And I want to address the likely response before it's used. This is not about creating a safe space. If people need care, serve them. If people need testing, offer it. If people need referrals, provide them. Somebody's sexual choices or crafted identity does not need to be celebrated or affirmed by county government in order to receive public health services. Serving people is public health. Promoting Pride is advocacy. This board should not pass the buck, respectfully, saying that this is just a health department issue. Pot County Public Health is not private nonprofit. It is a county department using public resources under public authority. The Board of Supervisors appoints oversight, provides, approves funding, and answers to the citizens. So I'm asking this board to ask first to direct the Potawatomi County Public Health to cancel this event or remove all county sponsorship, branding, staff time, facilities, and public resources from it. Secondly, require written explanation, of who approved it and what funds are being used and whether the grant actually requires Pride branding. Third, adopt a policy that county
We're
departments.
3 minutes, Eric.
3, thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't give his address.
There.
State your name and
Anybody
address.
else?
I can state it. It's 4812 Oneida Circle, Council Bluffs.
Okay. Thank you. Next up, Christian Brocker, attorney, and Garfield Coleman, director, safety and management or risk management, closed session pursuant to Iowa Code 21.5, parent 1, parent C, for discussion and decision on pending or potential litigation.
I'll make the motion to go into closed session.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Okay.
Okay. Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Chairman Shay,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Oh, Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Jones.
Aye.
Supervisor Jacobs.